Hello, it's Alex here. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here as promised to tell you about the new pattern release from Dhurata Davies, and it is the overlap. I said I'd been helping someone out with a bit of pattern testing over the last week or so, and this is what I've been doing. When you do a bit of pattern testing for people, there's always a moment where they say, I'll send it through to you, and you think, oh, really hope I like it, because how am I going to say to somebody who's probably been working on a pattern for months and months and months, not really my cup of char. That really wasn't the case this time. I didn't have to worry. It is the most versatile pattern I've seen in a very long time. So at first glance, it's a jacket. It overlaps, it has a very kind of Japanese kind of vibe to it. It has a collar and those kind of blocky sleeves. Comes in two lengths, a shorter length and a knee length. But the versatility comes in because it's unlined. It can be made in pretty much any fabric you can think of. You could make it in something thicker and have it as outerwear, or you could make it in something more flowy and drapey. You could even make it in a silk and have it as a robe. You could make it in linen and have it as a lightweight sort of over shirt, you know, that you pop on. Those of you who are over in Australia and New Zealand, whose weather's getting warmer, pop on over, you know, a t-shirt and jeans. You could have it as a beach cover-up. You could have it as you wear it as a shirt. There are so many options with it. And again, because it's unlined, Dhurata has provided information on a number of different seam treatments because your seams are going to be visible. So we're heading into winter here. I obviously made a wintry version. Let me show you what I did. So I wanted something warm and snuggly that feels more like a snuggly cardigan. I could have gone for something more structured and had outerwear, but I wanted something that I could kind of wear indoors, but also if I was nipping out to the shop or nipping out somewhere in the car, it will, you know, keep me nice and warm. So I made mine in this wool that I bought from my local fabric shop, which is Leon's, and it isn't a knit, it is a woven. It's a wool blend, which, as you can see, is brown with the cream is like a stripe running that way on the inside, in that the inside is the same but in black and looks like that. So obviously, when you've got something that's unlined, you need to think about the seams. And what she's done in this is that she's given information on how to do a Hong Kong finish. If you don't want to do a Hong Kong finish, there's information on how to do a flat felled seam. And the other alternatives are, of course, a French seam if you're using a lighter weight fabric, or just zigzag or overlocking. Lots of information in there, and that's one of the things that gives it the versatility. So really, I've done a nice thick snuggly fabric, but I'm already considering making one in something lightweight to use as a kind of robe to swaft around the house in. So yeah, there are two lengths. They both come with a patch pocket. The one for the shorter jacket is a slightly smaller pocket. I chose not to have the pockets because I've made the shorter version. I didn't feel that I needed to have a pocket. It comes with a nice tie belt and optional belt loops. So let me show you my one on. So yeah, here's mine. Oh, let me stand back a bit so you can see the length. Yeah, so as you can see, it's really simple. It's lovely and easy to wear, and it's also pretty easy to sew. If you haven't bought any of Dhurata's patterns before, she's really good at giving you really good instructions and talking you all the way through. And as I say, she's given lots of information on how to do the seam finishing. What I chose to do was a little bit of a cheat. I chose to do a bit of both. I did the lazy option for most of the seams. So, little glimpse, on the shoulders and around the arms, all the construction seams, all I did was I overlocked and I didn't even overlock and open the seams up. I overlocked the two seams together and pressed down. So that was most of my seams. And then you've got on the inside of the garment, you have a facing. And I did choose to do the Hong Kong finish on my facing. So the inside looks like this. So if you follow me on Instagram, about 10 days ago, I don't know, a little while ago, I posted a picture, I'll put it up, of these two fabrics. It was a bit of a teaser, I was being a bit naughty. Lightweight cotton fabric that I have had for 100 gazillion years. It was sold as ex Paul Smith, you know, the British designer Paul Smith. And as I say, I've had it for a very long time. It's kind of not really very me. I was just seduced by the fact that it was ex Paul Smith, I'll be honest. I did a little test, and when I used it and got little flashes of the red, and in fact there is a little bit of brown on the rose as well, that it kind of had that same almost Japanese type feel about it. I don't know, I just felt it worked. So I would say if you want to make this and you think, okay, well it's unlined and you know, I've got to do this complicated Hong Kong finish, don't be put off, because you can just overlock it and you can give it a go and see how you get on doing that facing, because I think that looks really nice. And of course you could use a satin or a silk or something, you know, with a bit of sheen to it, a bit of glow. So just to give you the lowdown, I made a size 14, which fitted, this is a standard for me, fitted bust and hip measurements, but was kind of like one size smaller than my waist, as per. But I could tell by its boxy shape that I would get away with it, so I didn't feel the need to grade up to a 16 at the waist, which is what I would do with something, you know, that was more figure hugging. But what I did do when I made the belt, and to be fair, this was Dhurata's advice, was I did make the belt as a size 16. So I made the belt to fit my waist, which I'm glad I did. And I didn't need to make any changes at all to the fit. It really did come together nice and easily. It's a really nice, well-drafted pattern. There was the option to interface the facing, the inside facing, and also to interface the belt, but I didn't want to do that just because of the nature of the way that I was planning to do it, i.e. kind of soft and warm and kind of snuggly and a bit more cardigan-like. But if you wanted to, you could interface this section here, the inside facing, with the finish, and then that would have more structure. And if you were perhaps doing something like a linen or a more floaty type fabric, that might be a good thing to do. Kind of depends what you're doing with it, really, because there just is so much versatility to it. But for me, I left it soft and casual. And again, no affiliation. I'm completely unbiased here. But I really like all the patterns she releases, to be honest. They're all really good. And I do love to support somebody, you know, one woman business who's getting out there, putting herself out there and producing patterns all on her own, whilst having a family and all the rest of it that women do. The other good thing with this is that she has got a really good size range. It goes from a UK 4 to 24. So obviously if you're in the US, you can add 2 on top of that. So it would be 6 to 28. Really nice size range. I know that other people are pattern testing it, so it'd be interesting to see how other pattern testers got on with it at different ends of that size range, because I guess I'm probably somewhere in the middle, aren't I? I'm thinking that it's also a really good one if you want to make something for somebody as a present, you know, that you can't fit, or because you want to give them a bit of a... What I actually meant was surprise. If, you know, like I'm thinking Christmas, aren't I? I can't believe I've said the C word, but I have. But it would make a good present for any occasion. I'll obviously put the link in the description box below for the pattern. Let me know if you get the pattern and kind of which way you go with it. Tag me in anything you might do on Instagram, because I really want to see, because I just do think you could go a million different ways with this. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I will be back soon with a fabric haul, and I can tell you that for sure because I've been good and I've already recorded it. So not sure when, but some point in the next few days. Have a good time. Yeah, have a good time. See you soon. Bye.